From New York City, the National Broadcasting Company presents Tonight, starring Steve Allen. With Edie Gourmet, Steve Lawrence, Pat Marshall, Andy Williams, the music of Skitch Henderson. Tonight's special guests, Wally Cox, Bill Kenny of Ink Spots fame, and New York's greatest giant, Willie Mays. Just off the crossroads of the world, Times Square is NBC's Hudson Theater. That's where we're taking you now, tonight and every night. Now to meet the star of our show, Steve Allen.
Boy, we've been making last-minute changes around here. That's something which I am very well aware. Well, sir, we're pretty weird. I'm very well aware that that isn't at all amusing in Omaha or Chicago, but it's breaking us up around here. We've had the best engineering and production brains east of the Mississippi working on a clever opening for this program for about the last 3 months, ever since we planned to go on. We were going to have the Empire State Building and move it, and the city, we had Mayor Wagner at our beck and call. They were going to give us, the East River was going to flow the other way, and all sorts of very exciting things. And about 20 seconds ago, a fella ran in and says, the Cadillac remote unit had a flat tire, and, you know. That's true. That was actually a live picture you were looking at. We really have a wonderful Cadillac. You know, we have a car out there with a camera on it, and something happened. What the heck did happen to them? They were taking a picture all around Times Square. That was not movie film. You were actually seeing Times Square here in New York City. But what happened? Somebody goofed. That's it. They have 3 lenses on the camera, a close, closer, and flat tire, I guess. And they had a little trouble with the third one. Anyway, in case you're just joining us, this is Tonight. And I can't think of too much to tell you about it, except I want to give you the bad news first. This program is going to go on forever. Boy, you think you're tired now. Wait till you see 1 o'clock roll around. It's a long show. It goes on from 11:30 here in the East, that is, from 11:30 to 1 in the morning. And we especially selected this particular theater. This is a New York theater called the Hudson. And we especially selected this for this very late show because this theater's, I think it sleeps about 800 people. And that worked out. The thing with the Cadillac didn't work out very good at all. This is kind of a mild little show. I don't expect you to say, boy, what a program. No, just look at it and... you know, decide in about a week what you think about it. You know, it's not as spectacular. It's going to be kind of a monotonous, I think. Is more the idea. I'll just be here, and I won't take up too much of your time. So I guess that about covers everything. This is actually the 3rd number in a series of shows that Pat Weaver and the NBC network plans to project perhaps indefinitely. The first program, as you know, was the fine show that Dave Garroway does in the morning called Today. And then there's Arlene Francis's program in the afternoon called Home. And this is the 3rd program of the series, as I say. This is called Tonight. And if this program is the success that the other 2 were, they're going to put on another program called Son of Tonight. So we're going to see how it all works out, and you'll be reading about it in the race results, I guess. Now it's time to make a little music here. What do we do, the boogie-woogie thing? You got the wrong drums? You didn't have to hurry. I have some old Victor Borge jokes I could make. All set? Somebody stole the beer. I can see right now what our big problem is going to be. It's going to be explaining every single joke. That's a New York joke. I'm sorry, I didn't plan it. We are sponsored locally for 15 minutes before we come on the network to all you people. And we're sponsored by a beer. And I don't want to say they don't trust me, but I leave a half a glass of beer around. As soon as they stop paying the bill, zip, it's back in the bottle, you know? I could turn this into a national beer if I get thirsty enough. Now then. Boy, this is a confusing program tonight. It isn't any different or any better or any worse or anything than it usually is. And I'll tell you what this is. We don't have a script on this program, but starting tonight we got a timetable. And boy, look at that. I'm not kidding. These are no jokes. Some of the things are pretty tricky. We're going to go to Cleveland later. We have a 5-minute pickup from Cleveland, connected naturally with the World Series. And we're going to try to go up to Harlem here in New York City, see if we can find with our... Hey, what about the Cadillac? Oh, we got another Cadillac. We traded the first one in already. And we got a new 56 now, which is going up to Harlem to look for Willie Mays. And I'll tell you who our guest is going to be. Our guest star is going to be one of your favorite funny men, Wally Cox. And I think we're going to be able to handle those numbers as far as the technicalities of the thing are concerned. But what puzzles me is, are we going to be able to get that dance remote from Nome, Alaska in? That's the one. There's a big Eskimo blubber dance going on up there, and we're going to bring you the magic of, I don't know what. We're going to tie this network up in knots it'll never get out. 4 engineers committed suicide this week alone getting ready for this show. I don't know what the heck we're doing here. All I'm trying to find out now is what comes next. Going to have Pat sing? Okay, good. As you New York viewers are aware, for the last year we have had a couple of wonderful young folks singing with us, Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. You saw them with me a few moments ago here in New York City. And, but naturally now that we're doing a 98-hour program per night, it's too much of a load for 2 singers, so we've added 2 more wonderful young people, Andy Williams and Pat Marshall. We're not going to do their life stories for you tonight. You'll get to know them very well down through the following weeks and months, and we hope years. And to get right to the point, we're going to introduce one of the young ladies to you right now. Is she all set? All right, what's she going to sing, Bill? Fine and dandy. Let's give her a nice welcome and make her feel at home here on the 0 Hour. Here is Pat Marshall.
My platitude, but I like your attitude. You are just the kind I've had in mind, never could find. Honey, I'm so keen on you, I could learn to lean on you. Honor and obey, you'd have your way. Do what you'd say. It's all fine and dandy, sugar candy when I'm with you. I can only see the sunny side. Even trouble has a funny side. When you're near, sugar candy, I get lonesome, I feel so blue. But when you're handy, it's fine and dandy. But when you're gone, what can I do? See, it's all fine and dandy, sugar candy when I'm with you. I can only see the sunny side. you're gone, sugar candy, I get lonesome, I feel so blue. But when you're handy, it's fine and dandy. But when you're gone, what can I do? Fine and dandy, oh, so handy. Sugar candy, oh, when you're gone, what can I do?
Very nice, Pat. In case you tuned in late and wondered who was the pretty girl singing, that was Pat Marshall. You'll be seeing lots more of her. As I was saying a few minutes ago, we got so very many nice telegrams. Don't have time to read them all. Here's one I particularly appreciated. Very sweet wire from the entire cast, the entire company of By the Beautiful Sea, the great musical which is still packing them in here in New York City. Here's a nice one. I don't know who this is from. Lots of luck and best wishes to a grand guy. Get in there, old boy, and keep up the good work. I know that if anybody can knock them dead, you can, because you have always done a swell job. I think that you're going to be highly congratulated for the wonderful job that we're sure you're going to do in the future, because you are the guy who can do it and do it right. If there's one person in the world who deserves all the breaks in the game, I know that it's you, and I'm sure you're going to get them tonight because you deserve success. It's really you, old pal. I'm just hoping that you have a real knocked-out show, Steve. You're the guy who can do it, and we are all behind you rooting for you and know that you're really going to come through. Yes, sir, old fella. If there's anybody who can do a show like this, you're it, and you are really the one who can turn in the best job in the whole world. Count on me, pal, to stand up to anybody who says different. So keep up the good work, Steve, and do your very best, which I know you've never done anything else but the very best. I'm sure that in the future, they're really going to talk about your program. I know you're going to be absolutely sensational. Yes, sir, old fella. I have every confidence in you. Signed. Guess I didn't have room to sign in. Well, it was awfully nice, whoever sent it in anyway. Now I see what's leaving on track 4 here. We're going to keep track of this program, don't you worry. As you can see by the sports pages in the newspapers these days, it's football time again. The World Series is not over, but already football and baseball are kind of sharing the stage, and the gridirons are busy with the activities of the cream of America's manhood. Television fans, of course, will be seeing the great colleges playing against each other, and they will also see many interviews on a great many TV sports shows, interviews with the top college football players. Right now, with the help of our right-hand man here, Gene Rayburn, I'd like to show you how a typical TV sports interview looks to me. Take it away, Gene Rayburn. Here we are.
Good evening, sports fans. This is Mel Rayburn, bringing you the sports, bringing you the play-by-play of big league football. All this brought to you by the makers of Sludge. Sludge, the soap for men. When you come home after a hard day at the office or from the playing field, use Sludge. Just settle back in the bath and rub yourself with Sludge. You can actually feel that old, tired skin coming off. Sludge does a marvelous cleaning job on you, and it contains no harmful chemicals. Sludge cleans your skin like no other soap because Sludge contains that marvelous cleaning ingredient, Brillo. Now, friends, for our sports interview, we have with us here one of the outstanding college stars. He's the captain of the team of that great team of Upper Peabody Tech. Here, then, is the old powerhouse himself, Bullhead Allen. Hi, Bullhead.
Hiya.
Bullhead, when a great football player like you walks out on the football field... When a great football player like you walks out on the football field and sees the college banners waving, when you hear the college crowds roaring, what passes through your mind?
Another day, another dollar, that's all.
Yes, sir, you're thrilled to be out there, to be wearing your school colors.
How's that?
I say you're thrilled to be out there wearing your school colors.
Oh, yeah, the good old purple and pink. Yes, sir.
Bullhead, your school colors are blue and white.
So sue me, that's all. I don't care.
Well, you're a great athlete, Bullhead. Friends, let me tell you, They call him Bullhead because when he puts his head down, he goes through the line like a battering ram.
Oh,
No?
that ain't why they call me Bullhead.
And why do they call you Bullhead?
Because I'm stupid. What do you think? I like a bull, that's all.
You're modest, too. I know you're not stupid, Bullhead, because I've never seen you miss a signal. Tell me, how do you manage to memorize all those complicated signals?
Very glad you asked that question. I'll tell you about that. We got a wonderful system. Now get this.
Yes.
When we line up, our signals are written on the quarterback's pants. That's the whole secret of the whole thing.
Typical Yankee ingenuity. Bullhead, tell me this. Do you come from an athletic family?
Well, my mother's interested in sports.
Oh,
yeah.
really? What's her game? She plays something like tennis?
No, she plays the horses, to tell you the truth.
Tell me, where do you get your great speed? When you get on the field, how come you run so fast?
I'm scared. What do you think? Think I want to get tackled by them big guys? Boy, not me. I run like a bat out of breath. I go, you know what I mean?
I'm talking about your footwork, Bullhead. Where do you get that great footwork?
From my father.
Oh, he was a football player?
No, he ran a saloon. That's what he did.
Yeah, but where'd you develop that dazzling footwork?
In my father's saloon, stepping over the drunks. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a typical story of the growth of an American athlete. Bullhead, a lot of people have made accusations of professionalism in college football.
Professionalism.
Professionalism, that's right. Now, I'm glad you're here to deny it. You tell our friends out there, when you play football, are you subsidized?
No, I'm on a straight salary arrangement.
What a sense of humor. Bullhead, tell me what advice you have to give to young players who are watching us out there and who are starting out on their college careers.
Well, Gene, first of all, they should remember that when they're at college, football is secondary. Their education is first-a-dairy, and they shouldn't forget it.
Excellent, Bullhead. Now, what advice have you got on the game itself?
Well, I just want to say to all you young American football players that football is nothing, basically, but a game and a sport. So get in there and play dirty, you know what I mean?
Thank you, Bullhead Allen, All-American.
Thanks. There we are. Thank you. Well, what are you giving me this? Didn't quite make that change. That's four. That's very good, Ed. Well, how much time do we have before anything has to happen? Some of the stations are going to cut away now while they make $1 or $2. And the rest of you will be carrying right on with us here in the studio. So those of you who are going to hop away, if the engineers are watching, take it now. Now that the rest of us are alone, have I got some funny stories to tell you. So, frankly, I have... oh, thanks. Now we're going to jump down into the audience here and talk to a few folks. For no particular reason, except I always enjoy doing that. And we give away some wonderful prizes. I guess, no, I won't take this microphone. I'll see you down there in about 10 seconds. Here we go. And now here we are down here in the snake pit to meet some of the nice folks who have... Well, it's just a little expression in the trade. Shh, steady. You'll all be given it. Put your hand down there. It's a funny thing. People who never look at themselves in the mirror, they come down here and they're waving their brains out. You know? Always waving at themselves, too. That's a funny part of it. You folks who have just joined us, some of the stations, having been away for 1 minute, have just come back with us. You didn't miss anything particularly. We had Clark Gable here. And he did his wonderful dance with Lana Turner that you've all seen at all the Rose Bowl games. However, those are the little things you miss when you do go away from us, so be careful. Now, let's get right down to business and meet some of these nice folks. Shh, steady, please. What's your name?
My name is Jean Sullivan.
That's very nice, Jean. Who are you?
I'm a commercial announcer.
I wish I could say that. What commercials do you announce?
I hate to say it, but I'm glad to say it, really. Broil Quick.
Well, I'm very glad you did say. Are you going to work on the show tonight?
No, I worked on a Broil Quick show earlier.
Oh, I see. And you haven't cooled off yet, is that it? Uh-huh. Well, we're very happy to have you with us tonight. What part of town do you live in? No, I have a reason for asking, because the show isn't over till 1, and I don't want you to miss your bus.
No, that's all right. I'm not worried about it.
Well, if you're not, why should I be? Miss Sullivan, we have a prize for you. You'd be surprised how little you have to do around here to win something. And let's see what we have here. Here's something I think you'd enjoy. Some beautiful Napier jewelry. I don't know what kind of stones those are. What would you call those?
Well, it looks like jade to me.
All right, then you now have a set of jade jewelry. If you think that's what it is, you'd be surprised. No, that's very pretty. When I first looked at it, I thought it was turquoise. Or turquoise, depending on how you say it. Reminds me, I was wondering one time about whether to pronounce the word turquoise or turquoise. So I took an old ring in, a ring of my wife's, to a jeweler, and I said, "If you look at this ring," I said, "would you pronounce this turquoise or turquoise?" He said, "It's pronounced glass." So whatever that turns out to be, I hope you enjoy wearing it, Miss Sullivan. Thanks for coming in. Here's a lady here with a big, happy smile. What's your name?
Lefak.
Levesque?
Lefak. Lefak. L-E-F-F-A-K.
Lefak? Mrs. Lefak?
Mrs. Lefak.
How do you...
Mrs. Lefak.
Oh, Lepak. I'm sorry.
L-E-F-F-A-K. L-E-F-F-A-K.
Lefak. I see. And what do you do, Mrs. Litvak? Or Mrs.
I'm a housewife.
See? And your husband, Mr. Lodvik, what does he do?
Works in a garage.
A garage? Which one?
The Metropolitan Distributors. Distributors. Metropolitan Distributors.
And what do they distribute?
They hire out trucks.
Oh, I see. How do you happen to be with us tonight?
I just came down to New York to see the show.
What city do you live in?
Coney Island. Coney Island.
How do you like New York? We're very happy to have you here. We don't ordinarily allow this, but is there anyone you'd like to wave at now that you're on television?
Oh, I guess they're all sleeping.
Thanks a lot. There goes a $4 million advertising campaign right out the window. Welcome to the morning show. Are we all set? Yes, by George, I guess we are. Right now? Well, my watch must be wrong. I didn't realize we were going to do it so quickly. At this point, then, having been advised that we're all set to do it, I'd like to present one of the features, which is a new feature of the show, in the sense that the whole show is new, that figures. But to you folks who have watched the program here on a local basis for the last year in New York City, this will be something new to you, because we have not up to now presented any news, but chiefly because the show in New York especially is an hour and 45 minutes overall in length. We have decided to incorporate some news features. So now, we take you backstage to our special NBC newsroom. Gene Rayburn in the news. Here he is.
From the NBC newsroom, all evening long, newsmen have been taking a poll, trying to see how the Senate lines up on the McCarthy censure report. It was made public today. That special Senate committee recommended a rebuke on 2 counts. One, that McCarthy was contemptuous of the Senate committee that investigated his finances 2 years ago. 2, that he browbeat General Zwicker during the Fort Monmouth probe last winter. As for comment on the report, well, here's tomorrow morning's New York Daily News. The headline reads, "Censure of McCarthy Split Senate." No comment from Senator McCarthy himself. He's in a hospital for sinus treatments. But his lawyer says he'll defend himself vigorously when the Senate takes up the matter November 8th. One member of the censure committee, Democrat Edwin Johnson, calls the report just. Idaho Senator Welker, a Republican, labels it bad precedent. He's against censure. There was quite a scramble in the corridors of the Senate office building today when news contact men handed out the 68-page report to waiting newsmen. Incidentally, the Associated Press got to about half of the 96 senators. 11 favor censure, 3 opposed. 6 praise the committee's work, but don't say where they stand. 29 want more time to think about it. Other news. In the photo gallery, James Roberts, the Maryland father accused of killing his 7-year-old daughter in Miami last July. Roberts, who's shown here actually taking a private lie detector test, is on his way to Miami tonight in the custody of 2 Florida detectives. Here in the sports gallery, The heroes of the New York Giants, Alvin Dark, the captain, and powerhouse batter, Willie Mays. New York got all steamed up today and gave the National League champs a Broadway ticker tape parade, which led straight to the steps of City Hall. Now, let's take a quick look at the weather around the country. Generally speaking, cold weather is moving down from Canada, a front down in through this area. Rain, hot weather through the south, lots of rain. More cold weather moving down from the Great Lakes region. And the only clear part in the country is right here in the east where we are. That's the complete news picture and the weather from the NBC newsroom in New York. Now, some of the stations on the network are going to leave us for just 1 minute and then rejoin us after that. And the time for you to go is right now. For the rest of us, back to Steve Allen.
There's something wrong there somewhere. I don't know what that... It doesn't sound right to me. This is where the tricky parts of the show now. It's a job enough to, you know, when they put you in front of a camera and they say, be funny. But when they say be funny for precisely 37.5 seconds, that's where you really get into a spot. I know a lot of 34-second jokes. I have a 42-second dance I could do, but I don't happen to have anything ready right now in the way of a 37-second material. 7 seconds material. Here's one quick telegram I wanted to read again, wishing us good luck. It says, Dear Steve, best of luck on your new show tonight. From a competitor, signed Warner Olin in the Late Late Show. I think that was... That's very good. Well, we're going to get out of the way now. It seems like that's all I've been saying since I started. This is a program called Interruptions. We're going to get off the network now for about a minute. Oh, Gene sent them off? Well, send Gene home then. I don't know. They're about to come back. How soon are they coming back? Welcome back. You didn't miss much. Didn't miss much. We had the entire Notre Dame team here. And they staged an impromptu game with the Brooklyn Dodgers right here on our stage. So speak to your local station manager about not making all that money. Stay with us. The station will go off the air, and then we'll all be out of work. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, but I'll be back to do it for another hour just to prove that it's definite at 12 o'clock, unless you're watching in another time zone, in which case don't even bother me with your problem because I got enough of my own. We'll see you in about 30 seconds.